Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. Welcome in if you're new. My name is Noah and today we are doing my March plan with me in my bullet journal. I have lots of other planning content on my channel, monthly and weekly spreads and other types of journaling things, so if that's something you're interested in, feel free to subscribe so you can watch more. Getting into today's, I am using the Cottage Life journaling kit that I created. It is a kit that I give out to my Patreons, so there's two different levels. You can get a one-page kit, or on the upper tier you get usually a 4-page kit, but this time it was more, mostly because I couldn't decide on which colours to use. As you can see, I'm flipping through here and you can get an idea of the different types of things you can get in each kit. So I usually have a full page of images that will go well with the designs that I've created for the stickers. I sometimes do different patterns like you see here. This is why I ended up with multiple extra pages, because I couldn't decide on which colour I liked best, so I just ended up using them all. And sometimes I will do different ephemera type pieces. One month I did like a writing set with a little envelope and writing paper, so it kind of just depends on the theme for the month and what I feel like doing. And then you'll also get functional type of designs like the days of the week and the month for the header and that kind of thing, as well as some decorative stuff too. I had a lot of fun creating this kit this month. It was a really nice theme to work on, and one that I kind of feel like I've been trying to do for a while and I just haven't gotten around to it. So it was really nice whenever my patrons voted on this one for the theme for the month of February, and it was really fun coming up with different ideas of what to draw and what kind of colour palette to have with it. And I kind of experimented a little bit with my illustration style as well, changing it up a little and softening it. Not having as harsh of a kind of outline on my illustrations, so it's really nice to be able to experiment a little bit and have a bit of fun with the drawings too. So the footage that you're watching was actually my live stream that I did with my Patreons. I do this every month, kind of near the end of the month, so that we can all journal together. I do it as a private live stream on YouTube that I send as a link to my patrons, and it was really fun to do and have the company with everybody else, and it's always just really nice and cozy, and it means then we can all set up our journals together, or if they're busy they can always just have me hanging out with them in the background, and it's always there to watch back as well. So if that's something you're interested in, having some kind of community to hang out with whenever you're setting up your journal at the end of the month, yeah, you can check it out. I will link my Patreon in the description below. So next month's kit we have already voted on, and it is going to be bookish themed, so I'm really excited about that one. I'm hopefully going to get stuck into doing some of the drawings for that one in the next week, possibly on YouTube or Instagram. I might go live. I haven't decided yet. I have to see what kind of schedule I've got for next week, but I'm really excited about that one, especially as one of my small business friends and patrons actually pointed out to me that next month, in the month of March, is National Book Reading Month, so it works pretty well. So yeah, I'm excited for that one. I have done some bookish themed stickers in the past, but I feel like it's a theme that can be done many times over with lots of different things, so I'm excited to try and approach it in a new way with a different colour palette and different types of illustrations in this one. So yeah, keep an eye out for that. I usually post the progress on my Instagram of my drawings and stuff, and like I said, I'm hopefully going to go live so that I can do drawing live with everybody and we can all kind of bounce ideas off one another, so that would be quite fun to do as well. I thought I could also catch you up a little bit as well on what I've been kind of doing behind the scenes and getting up to in the business. I actually released my first episode of a podcast, and I think it was last week's video. It's on the channel anyway. It's called Journaling Pages. I'd kind of thought about doing a podcast whenever I started my Patreon, but I just couldn't figure out what I wanted it to be about, and I didn't want to force it and do it for the sake of it, so I just ended up not doing it. And then I was talking to a few people about like the idea of a podcast and what I could do with it, and I ended up kind of coming up with the idea of interviewing other people and having it be a space where, you know, I could talk about journaling with others and their experiences with it and what they enjoy and what type of journaling they do. And yeah, so it was born. I ended up getting around to doing it a lot quicker than I expected, and I just went for it. I thought I would maybe wait a while to get started on it, but because the idea was fresh in my head, I thought, why not? And I just went for it, and I recorded my very first episode with my friend Kat from Kitty Creates Rainbows. They were a wonderful first podcast guest, and it was just such a great time talking to them and just learning about their process and just everything to do with journaling. And that's kind of the theme I want to run with in my next few episodes as well. I may eventually do some solo episodes as well, but I think I prefer the idea of doing a lot of interview style ones and chats, kind of not necessarily an interview, but more of a casual sit down and chat with people who've journaled before. So if that's something that you think you'd be interested in taking part in, leave me a comment below. I would love to chat. I have a little list of people that I want to try and get onto the podcast as well, so you can keep an eye out for that. It's not going to be anything super regular. I'm just going to kind of do it when I can. Low pressure. No. It's not going to be like monthly or anything. So I'll just pop the episodes up as and when I make them, and just going to have a little bit of fun with it. So another thing I did in February for the very first time was my first ever in-person journaling event, and that was super fun. So it's something I've been thinking about for probably a year or so. I mean, realistically, even from the very beginning, I've been wanting to contemplate the idea of in-person events, but I just hadn't really given it that much thought. But in the past year, I've been thinking about it more and more. I was discussing with a friend who owns a cafe, and we were talking about doing an event in their space. They have just reopened into a new space and are still kind of figuring out the run of things with the new place that they've got. So it might be something that I do in the future with them. Fingers crossed, it would be very fun. But what happened in the meantime is that friend recommended me to somebody else, and they got in touch, and it was a lovely person called Sarah from the Blackheath Pottery. It is a local cafe, and they have like a pottery attached to it, and the pottery you can see through from the cafe into the pottery room where the pottery gets made, and they sell their ceramics and stuff there. And they have an art gallery space in the nearby in the cafe as well. So what we did is we got together and we decided to do a journaling brunch. So it was like a self-love journaling brunch. Basically, everybody got to come along and have a beautiful breakfast / lunch brunch, I guess. They got to sit in the cafe and have food, and it was a really lovely experience with everybody chatting and getting to know one another. And then we moved into the gallery space, and that's where I took over and did the journaling with everybody. So I provided like prompts and writing paper and stuff for everybody, and talked about journaling and what it was and what kinds there are and what kinds I've done, and just kind of introduced people to it if they've never done it before. And there was a lovely mixture of people in the class, of people who had tried some different journaling things before and people who hadn't ever tried it, and we all got to chat about our experiences, and we got into doing the journaling and the writing part. And I also supplied lots of things for people to journal with, so lots of ephemera and stickers and washi tape, and I showed lots of examples. I brought a couple of my own journals, the different types that I have, so that everybody could look through them and get some ideas. And it was really lovely to see people take different approaches, and like how people naturally kind of gravitated towards certain types of journaling or decorating. And it was just such a lovely event with everybody, and it boosted my confidence massively because I was quite nervous before I went, but it went really well, and everybody was just so nice and had lovely things to say at the end. So I am hoping to do lots more of those in the future in hopefully the same venue. We have talked about doing more in that venue and in different venues in different towns and things. So yeah, I would love to do a lot more of those and collaborate with some more local people in like cafes and stuff, and yeah, just start to do it a bit more regularly, bring journaling to more people and show them the benefits of it, and create a little community locally for people who want to do it, have never tried it and want to try it, or people who have been doing it for a while and just want to be able to do it alongside some other people. So coming up in March, I do have a lot of other things happening. It's probably going to be a really, really busy month with everything that I've got going on and things to do. First up is International Women's Day event in Belfast in W5. I have been asked to come and talk on the panel and do a workshop, so yeah, that'll be my second in-person event and I'm really excited about that. So I'll be prepping a lot for that and getting ready to get everything set up and running for that. I think that's on the 9th of March, but I will probably post about it at least in my Instagram. I might do a little bit of a vlog about it in my journaling vlog. I'll have maybe a clip or two in there for the next one that comes up after that event happens, so keep an eye out for that. But I'm excited about that one because it is obviously a different type of event, and it is for specifically a younger group of women. I think it's ages 16 to 20 something. I'm not 100% sure, but yeah, I'm very excited about that event. And then also I have been starting to build my website in the background, so Previously, my shop has been on Etsy, and that's where it is still currently. I have always had my own domain, so if you went to lacunamin.com, it would have brought you to my Etsy website, but I have now got a Shopify that I am starting to put together. Currently, it is just like a links page for the meantime, but in the background, I have been tweaking and starting to change things so that I can build my shop on there. I'm still contemplating whether or not to keep the Etsy. I probably will, at least for a while, but I will be probably putting my website links in places rather than the Etsy one. It just gives me a lot more control over the things that I can put on the website, especially now that I'm doing in-person events and stuff. I want somewhere that I can put all of my info so that if people want to reach out and contact me for work, then they can do so. And I can also maybe start a blog and have just everything all in one place, and it's going to be hopefully an easier way for me to keep everything together and just elevate my brand a little bit more. So I'm excited about building all of that. It is a lot of work, and I've obviously not used Shopify as a website builder before, so it's definitely a learning experience. Thankfully, I have some very nice friends who know what they're doing and have had experience in it and are helping me a little bit whenever I need it. And that also coincides with the fact that I want to do a shop update in March as well. So that was kind of the plan, was I would get everything up and running for the website to launch alongside my next update. So everything in the next update is basically going to be the journaling kits that I've created for Patreon. So I'm going to use the elements within those kits to create sticker sheets like I would have before. So it'll be still in the similar format to how I would have done my sticker sheets previously. It's just going to be using the assets from the journaling kit, so it means then I can format everything into the right size and everything for the sticker sheets, and I'm excited to get all of that done. So I need to start working on formatting everything for printing and cutting. I need to get all the photography done. I need to write up all the listings, and then also decide which listings I want to transfer over from Etsy into the new website. And the whole thing has got me really thinking a lot more about my branding and, taking the next step in where I want to take it. So I've been thinking a lot about how I want things to look, whether I want to redo photographs and things like that. So it is quite a task, but hopefully I can get there, even if I don't have everything completely the way I want it from when the launch happens. I can at least get it to as close to that as I possibly can, and then slowly work on it over time, because I'm sure with anything it will be a work in progress, and I'll be consistently wanting to change things and add things, especially whenever I add more collections as time goes on too. And then lastly, the last thing that I know of that is happening in March is at the very end of March, I'm going to be attending a meetup with a lot of my business friends. If you've heard of Emily Harvey Art, I've been part of her Patreon for I think over 3 years now. I've made a lot of friends, and some who I speak to literally every day, and I get to call my best friends. So I'm excited to go to that, because I'm going to get to meet people that I have never met before, people who I've been talking to literally every day for almost 3 years. So it's super exciting to be able to go and meet people like that. So it'll be a really fun event. It is an event basically organised by Emily for all of her patrons. It's kind of like a let's get together and celebrate, and just the whole community of it all. So I'm really excited to do that. It's in Manchester at the end of March, so I will be attending that, and I'm going to be going longer than the actual event lasts, so that I can spend more time getting to see my bestie that's going to be kind of not knowing how long it'll be after that when we're going to see each other again, so we've got to make the most of it. So I'm very excited for that, and that basically rounds up my March. I have a lot going on. Obviously then the midterm has just passed, and then we will have more holidays from school at the end of March too, so I want to try and get everything rounded up before all of that happens, so that by the time the holidays come around again and my toddler is off school, it means then I've kind of got everything where I need it to be, so that I don't feel flustered getting my work done over that, I think it's a week or 2 weeks holidays. So yeah, I have a lot to do this month, but I'll get there. I'm going to use my journals, I'm going to keep myself organised, and you'll see even in the spread that I've done this month, I've done it differently than what I have done before. So normally I don't do a calendar. I have tried. Last month I did one of the double page spread calendars, and although I did use it, I just didn't use it quite as much as I would have liked. So I didn't feel the need to do something that size again. However, because there's so much going on this month coming in March, I wanted to make sure I had a space where I could put things to dates where I know I'm going to be away or I'm going to be busy or I'm going to be doing something, so that I could kind of plan my month around it in terms of making sure I've got everything ready for my Patreon and my shop launch and stuff, so that I could allocate my time properly. So you'll see here on the left hand page I've done my usual stats sort of section, and that's where I keep all of my statistics for my Etsy shop, my Instagram, my YouTube and that kind of thing. And then underneath I've done my normal section for my 3 kind of main goals for the month. But then to the side of that I have done like a running calendar where I've just given each day one line. So it means then if I have any events or anything or any dates of note, that is where I'm going to put it. So I'll put things like the International Women's Day event, the meetup that I'm going to at the end of the month, my shop launch, so I can kind of have those noted in there along with all my other kind of stuff like my personal life stuff and like my kids' holidays and whatnot, that kind of thing. So it just means I can glance in one place and know what's going on, and it means then whenever I'm setting up my spreads for my weeks, I can kind of glance through and see if I need to carry over anything from those dates and manage my time the best I can so I can get everything done that I need to. Anywho, I have rambled right to the end of the video, so here we are wrapping up, and you can see the full spread and my nice decorative cover that I've done too. I hope you enjoyed watching and following along, and if you want to watch more, remember to subscribe, hit the like button if you liked it, and I will see you in the next one.